right, guys, it's bedtime. Bedtime. I'm going to bed. Today was contest day, so I'm going to shoot this right at the beginning. Let you know that they were running ahead of time by about 20 minutes or so. Got everything ready to roll. And here was my performance, guys.
Three competitors in our 40 to.
So that was it, man. It was a really interesting contest. I was wrong. There were not 82 athletes. There were 260 athletes, and they ran all 260 competitors and right at a hair over 3 hours. Absolutely phenomenal, absolutely amazing. As far as my performance, I was happy. I did something new. I went out there. I created a bow kata in 6 days and competed with it. And it is not great, but it is solid. It's a solid base. It's something for me to work on. I didn't drop it. I didn't hit anything. I felt all the nerves, and I did feel contest day nerves today because they were running ahead of schedule. So when I thought I was going to go, little stuff like that matters when, I would have been the only athlete dealing with the sun going down in the entire world. So that's an issue to make sure I've got lights, you can see me. And what you saw there on my camera was not exactly what was the reality out there. I had lights turned on that way you could see me. You know me, cameras, lights. But today was the only day that I found myself warming up and then having to get a towel to dry my hands because my hands were sweaty. It's also the only day that I've been outside training with the sun hitting me, and that makes a big difference here. So, lots and lots of little things to work on. I can pick out lots of little things that I did wrong. I did. My cardio was solid through all of it. I didn't have any long, awkward pauses. I've got to get more accurate with everything. There are a lot of moves that I want to work on and find a space for in there. So right now, my bow kata is about 3 segments long. And to be honest, it needs to be about 6 segments long. Choreography's got to get a lot better. I've got to tell a much better story with what I do. I saw today, there is a contest this weekend. There's almost one every weekend somewhere in the world, to be honest. There's a really big one this weekend, hosted by the guy who basically invented the wheel when it comes to the bow staff with the style that I compete with. But I really feel very unprofessional without a uniform. And I feel okay with the bow staff that I have. The bow staff is not a limiting factor. I really need one that is wooden colored. And I need one that is a couple inches longer. It needs to be a little bit thicker and a little bit heavier. But the wooden color, all those things, the wooden color is going to make it look much better and more authentic to me. And the extra weight and the extra thickness will make it give it a much better feel in my ginormous hands anyway. So what I've got now is great for most people, but it's not great for someone of my size. And neither is not competing with a uniform. I need to show the respect to get a uniform. So tomorrow, hopefully I'm going to go to the shop and see if the guy there, if he has any connections to anything, if he can at least get a size on me. I don't know. Maybe, I've got to get a uniform that pops audibly when I hit it with a bow staff. Something that looks a little more professional than a t-shirt. So, with the bow kata, every time you heard a pop, 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 that was the bow hitting my skin. Whereas with the uniform, the sound effects would be the bow hitting that sort of canvas type material for your uniform. So, start back tomorrow again, playing with it just a little bit, watching some videos, working on footsteps. There's a contest, I think, in 2 weeks as well. I don't think I'll have a uniform by then either. So I need to make a decision whether I want to do that or whether I want to look at the next one in July and have a uniform and maybe a better place that I can perform. Because the place where I'm performing here, remember, it's just barely enough. It's barely wide enough for me to park my car. And if that bow staff is not quite 6 foot, so I think it's about 8 foot, maybe 9 foot across left to right. So a 6 foot bow staff and a 9 foot left to right space means you can't work very much left to right. You can't do a lot of swings. So I've got to get back out there and work on some drills. I've got to work on some patterns. I've got to work on some footsteps. Improve cardio a little bit. And I think as I performed more today, my cardio was better. My wife got a pretty good laugh because I was still sucking wind 3 or 4 minutes after that. But that's, better than I was a week ago. That's all I can ask for. So, did come away with first place in my division. I was the only person in my division, and I'm not naive. I know, because I've seen the other videos of other contests, that there are other guys out there in my division. I don't know where they were today. Maybe they're waiting for the bigger contest. I don't know. But I know there are a couple of other guys that compete that I don't think I might have beaten depending on what the judges liked. I could have beaten them depending on what the judges like to see on today's performance. And there's at least one other guy who is absolutely phenomenal with a sword. And I think that his traditional sword form is definitely better than my traditional bow staff form now. But I do think I have the potential that once I develop what I have, that I will be on the level to where I could, to where some of the judges might be able to say, you know what, I prefer a bow staff over this sword. So that's thrilling to take somebody who competes internationally nonstop, not just online, but goes to tournaments and competes internationally. Would be the best in the world in my division, maybe. And to be able to I can be on his heels. So anyway, I'm going to get this edited out. I really just wanted to say this. I'll get this edited out tomorrow, but I really wanted to get it while it's fresh on my mind. And I appreciate it, guys. Oh, and as soon as I finished training, or as soon as I finished competing, got the camera and the lights brought back inside, came straight inside, sit down, had a cold drink in my Cerberus shaker, bunch of electrolytes, carbs, juice, water, and then got my son straight upstairs into the bathroom, directly in bed. He was asleep by 9:20. I came back down and then started with log press, bench press, and incline. And then as soon as I finished that, I sat down here at my computer and began working. And it is 4 4:33 in the a.m. Right now, I'm on my way to bed to get a few hours sleep, begin my day all over again. It's the life of a master's athlete, it's the life of a dad. I don't think most people see that. So if you are a guy you're over 35, over 40, and you've got kids and, house payment or car payments, all that little stuff that we tend to deal with, I know that you can appreciate what my day has been like. And then Monday's coming up, and just set the tone for my week. I'm ready for Wednesday night to get here because that's when everything sort of slows down for me, at least for a day or two. So anyway, guys, have a good one. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you soon. Tomorrow night, Stones.